So earlier we have seen a concept that is called method overloading, where we have tried to define multiple methods with the same name within a class. So though it was accepted by then, but still only the last method definition was being considered. I mean, your Python does allow method overloading, but it has no impact like only the last defined method is going to be activated. And we know for solving that issue, we have functions with a variety of arguments. I mean, keyword arguments is there, which I can use by then. But here, when we talk about method overriding, so the term is pretty different. Method overloading usually require only one class. But when it comes to method overriding, you require minimum two classes and they must be having a relationship like parent-child. So unless until you have inheritance and there is no parent-child relationship between the two classes that we are defining, overriding is not possible. So what we are trying to do with overriding is we are trying to provide a specific implementation of a method within the subclass, and that method is already defined in its parent class. So inside parent class we are going to define one method, and the same method with different body if I'm defining within the child class, that is what I call as a method overriding. So you are trying to override the content of the method which is already defined within the parent class. So there are certain characteristics that we need to look into. So whenever you go for method overriding, you have to ensure that the name of the method, the number of parameters, and the signature of the entire method must be same as it is there in the parent class. So whatever name you have given to the method inside the parent class and whatever number of arguments you have given there, and those should be exactly same when you define within the child class or the derived class. So now when we call the method of the subclass, what it will do, now it is going to override the method present in the parent class. Because we have seen earlier, when you have a parent and child, the parent class members also available to the child class. And by using the child class object, I am able to invoke the methods of child class as well as the parent class. But here the problem is what? We have same method name available in both parent as well as child. Which means in the child class there will be two methods. One which belongs to itself and the other one which is taken from the parent class. Because there is an overriding, because the names are same, because the parameters are same, so the preference is always given to the own method of your derived class. So it is always going to invoke the method of the derived class. So how this method overriding is useful, one of the usefulness we will see later on, that is in the concept of polymorphism, which is called your runtime polymorphism. Okay. So now if you look into this example, we took a class called animal and there is a method like say sound, and it does not take any argument. So because self is obviously instance method takes that by default. So here the content is like animal sound. Now we are defining a child class say dog, which is derived from the parent class, that is animal. And here again I am defining the same method which was earlier defined in the animal class. Now you can see the number of arguments are same. You can say 0 argument. Here also we have 0 arguments. Though the method names are same, what we have made different is the body of the method, where it is going to print dog barks. Earlier the animal class, which is a parent class, has its sound method printing animal sound. So now when I'm creating the object of this dog class here, so with this object D, when I'm calling the sound method, so now we understand there are two copies of sound method in this dog class. One which has come from the animal class and the one which exists with the dog class. So though there are two classes available, the preference will always be given to the method present in the subclass directly. That is nothing but this sound method, which is printing dog barks, will be executed here. So as a result, we get this dog barks, but I will not be getting this animals sound here. So as we can see here, we took a class animal with this method sound, and here this is the child class or derived class of this animal, and here also we have written the same method. So we are overriding this sound method and with a different content. So now here we created the object of dog class, and when I'm invoking the sound method, it always prefers the sound method of its own. That is nothing but it's going to print dog barks but not the animal sound. So that is what we can see as the output over here.